All right, family, happy Saturday. It's Tasha MAMABEAR Prepping. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. I am glad you're here listening to me today. Lots of things going on for us here this weekend. It's hubby's birthday today. So obviously all weekend is turn up weekend. It's his birthday weekend. I think the older you get, it's more important to put a significance on your birthday, right? God is good. You're here another year. You're blessed to be with your family for another year. And so that's a beautiful thing. So we're going to be doing that. Obviously it's Mother's Day. I've already gotten a few Mother's Day. So I guess it was Mother's Day week for me. I don't know, because I've been getting stuff all week. So feeling good here. Lots to do. Probably just going to work on some projects, barbecue, and have a good time. So I want to get into it. Get your drink pull up. I've got a doozy for you. So if you guys don't know, before I get into this list, every single morning I wake up, I sit down, I grab my notebook, right? Full of notes. And I find a blank page, I get my coffee, and then I sit down and I formalize what it is I want to say to you guys in the same day. And then I edit it and put it together, and I get it to you by 2 o'clock every day. Now, I don't edit. I edit in the sense of it goes through an editing program where I have my beginning video, and then I have the video, of course, and I edit the coloring, stuff like that. But I don't edit in the sense of chopping pieces of clips together, right, and redoing things that I mess up. Everything I say is just what I say, and what you get is whatever was on my mind that morning, okay? And a lot of times it's very easy, and then sometimes it's very hard. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. And today, it took me a while to put this together as far as getting a topic and figuring out what I wanted to say. I'm struggling with you guys because I know you guys like lists, but I know a lot of you guys are senior and have stuff and are ready and just want to hear me talk and discuss the things that are going on. And but there's a lot of people that want to just know what to get, what to do. Okay. So I just started brainstorming all the things, tons of things to think about. Our supply chain is going to be disrupted in a way that we've not seen, okay? If you think what we went through these last 2 years was something major and you couldn't get certain things and you saw certain things go through the roof like wood or whatever, baby, it's about to get very, very bad. And we're 2 seconds away from a recession now, especially with the Fed and all this stuff. Listen, we are 2 seconds from officially being in a recession, okay? And the supply chain issue or should be a concern of yours because of all types of stuff that's going on. Foreign stuff, imports, exports. China being locked down right now is a major player, okay, that is going to catch up with us and going to catch up to our supply chain. You have other countries shutting down their exports. You have things that are happening in the world in our own country that are affecting our food, okay? So recently it's been food, water, meds, and those obviously made this list, but I just want to let you know, these are things that you need to be working on and thinking about and getting ahead of before you can't get these items or get these things done anymore because you can't find them, okay? So let's get into it. I've really got to have a marker today so that I can highlight these as I go. So I got a purple one. All right, so, and these are all over the place. They're not in any kind of order. So first thing I have is get your fans and heaters. So it's about to be summer. Pinball preparedness talked about this. The South going through major heat waves. It's funny here. Nobody cares about anything until all of a sudden the first day of heat really hits. And then everybody loses their minds and has to go buy a fan, get a fan, is mad that they can't find a fan. It's just crazy. Same thing when it's cold with heaters, right? So think about supply chain demand and not being able to just readily order stuff and get that stuff now. Get your extra fans now so that when one poops out on you, you've got another backup. And then your heating stuff too. So whatever it is, your plug-in type items, get your fans and heaters. Next thing I have is preserve more food. Let me say something too about this list, you guys. This isn't just a list of, hey, buy all this stuff, okay? And it's so some stuff on here is buy this stuff, get this stuff, but some of this is action items. Do this now, okay? So this one is an action item, and that's preserve more food. Preserve more food, preserve more food. Get your preservation items and preserve more food. Okay. Next thing I have is get chickens, rabbits, quails, whatever it is that you can get. If you have a farm, obviously, and you're able to get more animals and you can afford that and are able to do that, do that. But even if you just have a little backyard, you can't do much, get something, especially get it before it's banned, right? Take advantage of those eggs now before it's banned and you can't have chickens no more. But you've had years, maybe possibly, of collecting eggs and preserving eggs. Okay. So do that. Electronics. This is a huge one, you guys. And when I say electronics, I'm talking about everything that gets plugged in. I'm talking about get your backup phones, tablets, computers, TVs, heaters, fans, your battery banks, extra phone cords, the extra surge protectors, extra plug-in other towers that have lots of plugins for all your devices, extra blocks, extra Ethernet cords, so just everything in the realm of electronics. Get that stuff. Get the stuff that you know you get all the time. And get all the stuff that plugs in. Anything that plugs in, and especially if it's like a favorite of yours, get that stuff now. Even something as simple as, okay, yeah, you invested in an iPhone and it's expensive and you can't just buy another one as a backup. Go get you a little cellular, whatever it is, phone or Cricket phone. Get you something that's super, super cheap per month. As a backup phone, maybe, if that one goes. This is more than just a chip issue as far as like computers and circuit board type stuff. This is everything, okay? So much stuff comes out of China when it comes to electronics and all the little pieces and gadgets that come with that. And so get all of those things. If it's an electronic or it plugs in at all, get those things, okay? If it's something you need or it's something you use a lot of, and get your extras. Something like a surge protector, you guys, you always need extras of those, extension cords, things like that. You always need extra. You think you have enough, but then you do something, and then all of a sudden maybe you start all of a sudden in a little seed starting area, and with lights, and now you realize, wow, you need a surge protector for that. So you never realize, or maybe you start chicks all of a sudden, and you need a surge protector for the lamp. Whatever it is, be thinking of the extra electronic type items that you need, okay? Or that you may need, so that you can stock up now before you need it. We're such a reactive society where we wait till we need something, and then because it's so readily available, boom, we just at the tip of our finger, we get what we need. Or we get a thought, we see something on TV, boop, we go and get it. Somebody mentions something that they have, or hey, you should get this, boop, let me just boop, get it. And that's not going to be the case, okay? You may be able to boop, get it. They take your money right away, but then delivery is like months and months away, okay? Because they know it ain't nowhere close for you to get it anytime soon, okay? There's not enough workers. There's not enough whatever's going on. And that's a bad look. You're just going to be giving money away and not getting product. And we're already seeing a little bit of that in pockets, but it's not going to be a good time. Next thing I have is batteries. So many things take batteries. I love batteries in the sense of grid down, needing them for different things. I personally use them for a lot of different things, but I think that it's important to get batteries. I've recently been trying to get batteries almost every single time I go to the store because I was down to like none. And so I've been trying to replenish our supply of batteries. Next thing is download everything that you can download. This list is to help you get ready for recession, get ready for disruptions in our supply chain, get ready for shortages, limitations, not being able to get stuff. And, there's a lot of things that could happen that could cause our grid infrastructure to go down. And so being able to download the items that you need now, recipes, books, manuals, how-tos, that type of thing, is really important to be able to get that stuff and download it now. Maps, whatever it is, okay? So use the time while you can, while it's not as crazy, okay? And get your stuff downloaded. More stuff you can do, get water. You know me, I'm not going to go and talk about any kind of list or probably go through a video without mentioning water. Get your water. Get water catchment. If you live in a state where there's no water coming out of the sky on a regular basis, I almost think you're a little cuckoo, okay? There's a drought. There's not going to be no water. I mean, that one day you're going to have to migrate. Like, You know that, right? So water is a huge thing. Keep your water. If I had an apartment, I'm putting water everywhere. All the closets are dedicated to water. Corners, the pantry, above the laundry, the shelf or shelving above the laundry, area. Wherever I could fit it, I'm fitting it. Okay. Water. Get creative on water and know where water's at. Okay. Big deal. Next thing is, and this is kind of a big one, you guys, and I realize not everybody can do this, and that's get a wood stove. If you're able to upgrade to getting a wood stove in your home or in some part of your home, do that, okay? Even if it's not something that you use every day now, but just getting it installed, getting it ready, getting it safe, getting your inspections, getting all your wood, and getting ready to have that as an option. Okay, you need that for grid down. You need that as an option for cooking, heating, lighting, all that stuff. Now, secondary, if you can't just do a wood stove, maybe it's easier for you to do gas because there's some sort of easy gas line that you could connect to. That's not a guarantee for grid down, but that will last. If it's a short term grid down, a gas option will work, right? Your gas stoves for cooking, you typically will still work. And so a gas stove for heating would typically work for some period of time until those stores are worked down, right? That gas is worked down. So it's an option. Be just thinking about your different options like that and do what you can do. I understand what I just said is not going to work for a lot of people. I get that. So you just skip over it, okay? It's not feasible to put a wood stove in if you live in an apartment. I get that. If you live in a condo, I understand all of that, okay? But take a look. If you're out buying right now, think about that when you're buying, right? Think about, hey, I need a place with a wood stove. A lot of these condos have wood fireplaces, right? So think about what you're buying and purchasing that has to do with preparedness when you're doing that stuff, okay? Next thing I have is car maintenance items, right? Just all the extra things, all the extra oils, fix a flat, different liquids you need, different cleaners that you like for your car, whatever it is. Now is the time. If you need tires and you haven't gotten them yet, get them done. Oil change, all that stuff. Get the extra maintenance stuff that you like for your car, okay? Next thing I have is fuels. So this is more than gas, but obviously if you're able, again, to have a situation where you're able to stack gas, you should have some gas stacked up. But I'm also talking about butane, propane, sternos. I'm talking about all the different, oil, lantern, oil, kerosene oil. I'm talking about all of the different types of fuels for different things, okay? Next thing I have is homeschool items or schooling items. Just having your backup of extra pencils, pens, notebooks. Get all that stuff now. I mean, it seems so simple that no, that stuff's not going to, people like food, and they don't think about the everyday things that could be difficult to get, okay? And things like school supplies and pens and pencils and paper, printer paper, stock up on that if you have a printer. Get stock up on the ink for the printer, different things that have to do with school and making that better, erasers, glues, scissors, all that good stuff. Get that stuff. And it's not that expensive to stock it up and get some extra. Okay. Just wait till right about school time when those sales go on and get that stuff. But think about that. You could take this further and be like, okay, I'm going to get future books and manuals and future educational books for the future years, right? In case it totally goes south and you have to really do all of the schooling straight from a book. Like you're trying to teach your child yourself, literally. There's no more program. There's no more nothing. And you're really doing it hardcore by yourself, okay? But you have to have the books. You have the manuals. And I'm talking about future stuff, okay? Next thing I have is garden extras. All your extra stuff that you either are going to need soon or may need later that have to do with your garden, get it now. Some examples would be trellises, extra pots, shade cloths. Even if, frost, you have a frost night and you are one that just throws some bed sheets out there, getting the clamps, getting your hoops, getting your other covering devices, all the different things that are extras for the garden, okay? Get those things. Get your extra stuff, okay? Next thing I have is home safety. So this is your getting all your fire alarms up, carbon monoxide alarms up, fire extinguishers up. If you don't have this home safety items that I just mentioned up, you're wrong. Just flat out, you're wrong. You need this stuff. Now, if you live in an apartment, most of these already have this stuff. You're not going to have fire extinguishers per se. You may have some outside of your building. Surprising, if you've never looked around, you might have fire extinguishers actually outside your home on your building. Okay, so take a look when you're walking through your complex or whatever, and peep where are the fire extinguishers that possibly are on the side of buildings within your complex. Okay, but it's super important to have them in your home. I think it's important to have them in every single room, even if you get the little smaller ones. It doesn't have to be the huge one, but you need to have something quick to be able to grab and put out a quick fire. I mean, it could be the difference of saving your house. And then, of course, fire alarms, carbon monoxides, having the batteries, backup batteries for those, the type of batteries that go in those, and having those backed up. Super, super important. Home safety. Next thing I have is cleaners. So just stocking up, basically having your bleach, having your bleach cloths, having your Lysol, having your different cleaning things that you like to clean the bathroom and the kitchen, and wiping things down and keeping things sanitized. You know, yes, we went through some shortages and stuff because there was, a virus going around. That could totally happen again. You know, this current stuff is ramping up. There's other stuff to be worried about. And so cleaners are super important. Okay. Paper products, again, super good for grid down. You're not going to be doing dishes or not wanting to do dishes. And so having paper plates, paper bowls, utensils, paper cups, super important. It sounds so beautiful. So it's raining right now, you guys. I don't know if you can hear it. Let me just stop for a minute. I don't know if you can hear that on the coming through, but it's coming down. I love it. It sounds like I'm like outside. So I'm in the den and it comes through pretty loud in here. Okay. Next thing I have is coffee, liquor, smokes. All three things that make everybody feel better, okay? That are big time things that people use daily, okay? So liquor, get your smokes, get your, before you can't get this stuff no more. You can't find it because it's going to be gone. Get your coffee, your coffee creamer, your teas, that type of stuff. Get that stuff stockpiled right now. Next thing I have is home comfort items, right? So getting stocked up, you have your extra washcloths. Are you low on washcloths or towels? Or do you need, you have all a bunch of dingy stuff. It's time to get new stuff. You need some new bed sheets. Home comfort items like that, blankets, pillows, stuff like that. Think about what you have, walk around room to room, see who's maybe got some dingy stuff that you're like, okay, it's time to replace this. Or, hey, you need backups. Maybe it's fine, but you need your backups. Think about home comfort and getting those items. Next thing I have is, this is a favorite of mine, and that's automation, watering of garden, right? So drip stations, basically, right? Drip lines. But automation, I like the battery operated automation systems that pull water from buckets. I personally love that. That works for me. But having something like that set up for your garden and your plants, or having some kind of gravity fed type system, that's important, okay? Because if something grid down, you get pulled away, you don't have time for that. That stuff's already set up, and then you don't lose all that money, all that time, all that effort, because your plants weren't getting water, okay? And plus, even if you're home like me most of the time, it gives you time now to concentrate on other stuff instead of spending half the day watering everything, okay? Next thing I have is next sizes of shoes, socks, bras, underwear. So, super important. Not going to be able to get stock, not going to be able to get stuff. And it's going to be important to get extra underwear, your undergarments, your extra underwear, extra bras, extra socks, shoes, and think about the next sizes up, right? Especially for kiddos, the next size of shoes, the next size of slippers, sandals, whatever. Their chocolates, all their stuff, okay? Their socks and their underwear. Get the next sizes up. They're going bigger, so get that stuff. Not so much you need to get the bigger sizes, obviously, for adults, but getting a backup bag or two so that you have extra stuff, okay? Next thing, I mentioned this on a video the other day, and that's get bikes. I think it's super smart and important to get extra bikes, or not extra bikes, get bikes for your family. Good for cardio, good for spending time together, good for another option for getting around, right? If gas prices get too crazy, and being able to, ride to the store on the bike, or go to work on a bike, because that's the only way that you have. I mean, times are going to get bad during a recession. You never know what's going to happen. People lose their car, can't pay their bills. Gas is too high. They don't have somebody they can carpool with, whatever the case may be. A bike might really, really come in handy. Okay. And when you get the bike, get the extra stuff. Maybe get some extra tires, or some extra, the chain, or different things that typically will go out in time on a bike. Okay. Next thing I have is good jacket and gloves for everybody. Everybody in the house should have a good jacket and some gloves. Go to a thrift store, go to Goodwill, go somewhere like that to get this stuff if you don't have it. Don't go somewhere and get some fancy jacket. Go to a Goodwill thrift store or another thrift store and make sure everybody in your home has a heavy duty jacket, rain jacket, and a heavy duty jacket, and some gloves. Okay. Just super important to have. These are basics that people should have, but not always the case. Next thing I have is meds and vitamins. We talk about this a lot, so I'm not going to really harp too much on it, but getting your medical supplies, your medicines, and your vitamins. Next thing I have is grid down items. Now, you guys, this one is pretty big, right? It actually has several types of areas of things to get. So get the things, right? You need to get radios, you need to get the lanterns, the flashlights, the solar banks, or the generators. You need to get your alternate way to cook, your alternate way to heat, all your grid down stuff, your emergency toilets, right? How are you going to take showers? How are you going to do laundry? All the things that have to do with your everyday, what you're doing every day, but how do you do that with no power? Get those things. Any kind of preparedness items are going to go if it gets crazy, but just basic supply demands are going to be hard, where you're not going to be able to get stuff. Okay. Next thing I have is food preservation items, but mostly I want you to think of, well, one, if you don't have them, get them, right? If you don't have a dehydrator, a can, or different things, food saver, stuff like that, get that. But if you already have it, think about your extras, extra bags, extra Mylar bags, extra buckets, extra jars and lids, and all the, so maybe you have all the utensils for canning, get the backup for that, get the brake bleeder, get all the things, the extras of it, so that you have it. Extra pectin, extra pickling salt, extra, all the stuff. Okay. Get extras of it. Okay. Get the different size jars. Next thing I have is wood projects, right? Wood for wood projects. Thinking about any kind of projects that you're going to be wanting to do around your house in the next couple years. Think about those and getting the wood now, right? Get just like garden dirt. Get your garden dirt now, right? Order that from a local place now. Getting wood for wood projects that we're not even working on. Yes, you're working on wood projects now, but stuff that's in the future that we want to do. Getting that stuff now, because that is only going to continue to increase. So if it's something that you're going to want to have, if you can afford it now, get it now. Now, I know there's stuff I know I'm going to do in the future I can't possibly get right now. I can't afford it, right? So if you can't get it, you can't get it. But if there is something you can get, or you have a deal, somewhat of a deal, where you're able to get something in bulk-ish, and you can pull it off, do it, okay? Hygiene is the next one, right? All the things, tampons, toilet paper, wipes, baby wipes, shampoos, dry shampoos, conditioners, body washes, bar soap, deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, all the things, okay? Face scrubs, face wipes, just everything, right? You need to be thinking about, it's not so much beauty as it is staying clean and being safe, because if you can't stay clean, right, there's other issues that you're going to have to deal with, infections and rashes and sores and diseases and things like that. And so you've got to be able to stay hygiene, keep your hygiene levels up. And so you want to stockpile that stuff right now. I'm taking this very, very serious, because I feel like supply chain We just have never seen anything like this happen before. And somebody is just like, oh no, they might run out of food, but they're not going to run out of deodorant. They're going to run out of everything. Everything is going to be hard to find. Okay. And so if you have anything that you use in your house every day, get it. You've got to get it done and get the things now before you can't get them. And you're sitting there stinking because you didn't get deodorant. Okay. You didn't think to get deodorant for the future. Okay. And I'm not saying go and get 20 bottles of deodorant, but if you don't have at least a few months of stuff, because you can ration, okay? Let's say something happens and nobody can find deodorant, but you've put away at least 6 months. You've got 6 tubes or whatever, right? You can ration that, right? Deodorant, use the actual, wash your body as often as you can, use the deodorant every other day, whatever, or don't put on as much as you normally would in normal cases, right? You're not putting it on as thick, right? These are things you got to think about because it's going to get rough, and there's going to be things that people are going to lose their minds over because they cannot get that said thing, and it's something simple, right? It's something, hand sanitizer. Everybody lost their minds. Like, what do you mean I can't find hand sanitizer? Going out of the way to make it and get the components to make it. And so that will be the next thing. It will be, what can we not get no more? Okay, now how can we make it? And then all the components that go to making said product, now that is what they go after. It's just going to be an endless cycle. It's not going to be cool. Okay. Next thing I still have a few more, you guys. Next thing I have is hide food and money. This is an action item, right? You need to be actively thinking about it. Literally every day I'm thinking of a new place to put food, to hide food. Hide food, hide money. Get your money out of the banks. We are about to go into a recession. Economy is going to collapse. You need to have some cash. I'm not saying take it all out, but you need cash. You need to have some. So hide cash, hide money, and hide your food, okay? Last thing I have is not last thing I have. I just have the word last here, you guys. I have quite a few more things. The next one I have is last minute security and fortification items. Just did a video, I think it was yesterday, about preparing for what's going to happen. All these people looking for food, looking for things. It's the same thing with these items I'm mentioning. People can't find them. People are going to get desperate trying to steal and take from other people. So doing those last minute fortifications, walk your property one more time. Just walk the fence line, walk around your sheds, walk around at night, literally go outside in your backyard or wherever your property and walk at night and see what does it look like when you walk up on your house. How dark is it? Where's the hidden places? What needs another light? Which area needs another light? Whatever it is, okay? What needs another lock that people can't see, can't get to, can't reach down to? Get this stuff done. Next thing I have is think about pets, babies, elderly, and ailments. So pets, obviously, pet foods, pet treats, anything that has to do with your pets, get that stuff. Extra leashes, extra pee pads, food, dry food, wet food, you name it, and it's something extra beds, cat trees, whatever it is, get all the stuff now before you can't get it. Babies, baby formula, huge. It's so funny that the actual media, real media, or big time media, is finally talking about the baby formula. We've been talking about the baby formula on these channels for months and months. It's just mind boggling how, it just drives me crazy how we will talk about something for years before, the media will even begin to touch it and talk about it. And so they're talking about it. People are losing their minds. My sister works at Walmart. She said people were calling from miles and miles and miles around, talking about they had called 10 stores trying to find baby formula. Can you hold baby formula? Do you have baby formula? Right? It is bad. Okay. We talked about this several weeks back, and a lot of people put recipes for baby formula in the videos. You need to pay attention. Google how to make baby formula right now. If you are one of these people that are struggling, you have to learn to adapt and figure it out. This is not going to get better. Right? So as you see things happening, you need to get smart and adapt now quickly how you are going to fix that issue. It's not about calling 20 stores to get baby formula. I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is I call around a little bit. Okay, this is clearly an issue. How can I make this? What's my next options? Your babies can't starve. What is your next options? Okay. And getting that stuff before all the other people that are going through this situation get smart and do the same thing, right? You need to adapt quickly to what is going on when you see shortages and see things like this. And don't spend time sitting around crying about it and whining about it. How dare they don't have, you're wasting time, okay? Get the things done. Elderly, extra diapers, things like that, an extra cane. If you think somebody's going to need a wheelchair, trying to procure a wheelchair, sooner than later, having crutches, things like that. Ailments, CPAP, hubby, distilled water is a major prep of mine. Distilled water, knowing how to make distilled water when we run out and we can't get it anymore. All of the CPAP machine, extra parts, extra pieces, like get that stuff now, because that's a big deal. Okay. Knowing how grid down, how you're going to run that. Okay. How are you powering that? You've got to have a small power bank at a minimum to run that. Our smallest river runs that. Okay. You've got to get that. That's important. Okay. I might just do a video just on that for some people. Next thing is your favorites. I'm going to give you an example. Hubby bought me these little cute shears for pruning plants and stuff. Very, very small, not your typical big, crunchy, big, heavy duty, just very petite little pincher pruners. I love them. But guess what I just did? I've lost them. I've misplaced them recently in recent days. I'm so upset. I love them. And so now I told him, where did we get those? Like, we need to get 10 of those because they were my favorites. I loved them. They were small, petite. I absolutely loved them. And now I'm like, no, I got to have 10 of them so that the next time I misplace them or can't find them in the store or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So once you know you have something that is a favorite of yours that you really like, make sure you have that said thing. Make sure you take care of yourself and get that thing that you love, that if you lost it or you couldn't get it again and you're like, oh my goodness, like you have a kitchen knife that you just love. And then what happens? The handle breaks off or just all of a sudden it's gone. You're like, where'd the stinking knife go? Whatever. Like, get the extra one, okay? I know it's silly and it's a little like, what? You don't need 10 shears. And that was just me being a little bit more dramatic. But I definitely was like, where do we get those? We need to buy a couple now because I need to have the backup. Okay. So your favorites. Next thing is pest control. Think about pest control. Think about not being able to call services and get things done. Got to get your mouse traps. Got to get your different things. I seen this mouse trap bucket. Amazing, where the top like drops as soon as the mouse goes over. I watched that bad boy catch like 25 mice in like 5 minutes. It was crazy. Okay. Things like that. I mean, something like that, even to catch food, to catch a rat to eat. Now I know I just went left with a lot of you and I get it, and that's fine. And maybe you're not a true survivalist if that just took you to some place you're like, I'm not doing that. Okay, then baby, hey. But I was thinking not even pest control when I saw that. I was thinking genius way to catch small rodents. Listen, you better be ready to adapt. Okay. And I don't say that to be, you're like, oh my gosh, Tasha, are we going to where we're catching rats to eat? Hey, baby, I don't know what we're doing. We've never gone through this, okay? And God willing, this never gets to that point. But that's how my mind thinks, right? So get those things is what I'm saying. Get your pest controls. Get your stuff done. We're about to do the whole we did this years and years ago when we were here, but we're about to do the perimeter, pest control, right? When you first do that, they kind of run in, they run everywhere, they run out, they run in, they're just done, right? But that stuff works, right? And so we're about to start doing that on a regular basis. They come out like once every other month, and spray, and it works, right? So I love that. So we're about to do that, but pest control. Think about maintenance, right? All your extra stuff that you need in your house, your batteries, your light bulbs, your filters, that type of stuff. Get that stuff, get it stocked up, okay? Next thing I have is craft stuff. Extra sewing stuff, your extra needles, things like that. I mean, you are going to be possibly having to sew up holes in your clothes, sew up holes in your socks, sew up stuff, right? And make it sturdy, right? So having sewing stuff, having quilting stuff to make blankets and do quilting stuff and do crafting stuff. Maybe you just do crafting stuff for fun, okay? But getting that stuff and being able to have all the things and have the extra stuff to do what you need, okay? Next thing I have is garden tools, right? tools in general, be getting all your tools in general. Hubby's big thing right now is the batteries, having extra batteries for all his different tools, right? But having manual tools to back up, right? If you don't have those, so grid down, prepping those, getting those, but also getting, you know, the extra batteries, the extra things that he would want in life to make his life easier. And knowing that because of supply chain demands, he might not be able to get things that he's used to getting, right? So, and garden tools, hose and different things, extra garden gloves, extra, just all the different weeding tools and different things that you need, for the garden. On that same note, I have, garden seeds and fruit trees. One, you should be keeping seeds. One, you should be trying to learn how to procure seeds from your plants as they seed out. Okay. That's going to be new for me this year. I'm going to let certain things bolt at, so that I can, at a certain point, so that I can learn how to get seeds. But you should be buying seeds, heirloom seeds. You should be, planting as much as you can plant, right? Start your garden, plant as many crops as you can, but be thinking about long-term fruit trees, planting fruit trees. These fruit trees don't cost, some of these smaller ones do not cost that much to get, let's say a blueberry bush or a raspberry bush or, you know, an apple. Get this stuff now, okay? Put it in a pot, okay? These trees take years and years to get big, okay? Just know it's going to be stunted at some point because it's in a pot, but start small. Like, get these things started. Okay. We have stuff inside the house started, lemon trees. I'm about to start some more avocados because my avocado trees didn't make it. I didn't really love on them that much, you guys. When I first brought them here, I had them inside, then I had it outdoors, was hardening off, was doing pretty good. And then I left it out one night when I shouldn't have left it out, and it totally got killed. Okay. It was like a snow frozen. It was done for. Okay. But I'm going to keep those indoors, and especially until this summertime, bring them outside. And then hopefully before the end of summer, we'll have our greenhouse that we can either keep them in the house or move them to that. Okay. But start stuff indoors, start stuff, you know, this tree, I'm not going to say it right. I thought I killed it. We bought a tree in California before we left, I'm going to say it wrong, a pomegranate tree. I just knew I killed it. It was totally looking dead. I decided to put it out several weeks ago with my regular garden stuff. I've been watering it, but to be honest, I was like, this tree's dead. Like, I killed it. It's, you know, and I left it outside when we got here. So it was like super hardened off with snow and frost. And I was like, this tree's dead. I just seen it. It has buds, you guys, that are coming back on the branches. I was like, oh my goodness, totally shocked. So this tree has made it. Okay. So that's my point. Get your trees, get your stuff. If you have to have them inside because there's some sort of tropical or whatever, then do that. Okay. You guys are making me think of stuff I'm supposed to get. I forgot I didn't order. I needed to get my kumquat trees, but see, so much to do. Next thing is your everyday tools. I already kind of talked about that, but really, besides hardcore tools, your everyday, house stuff, right? Your different types of glues, your different types of tapes, your different types of rope, that type of stuff that's everyday stuff that you need, your multi-tools, stuff that's like just everyday stuff around the house to put stuff up, you know, that type of thing. Nails, and get your everyday tacks, that type of stuff, right? Get all that stuff, get it stocked up. I can't stress enough that, you know, there's some days that I'm like, I hope I'm just blowing smoke and that none of this is important. But I'm telling you right now, I think this is going to get bad. And I think that it's going to hit hard. And I think that it's going to hit us in ways that we are not expecting, because it's going to be all types of things across the board, everything. So thank you. If you stuck by me, it's 38 minutes later. And if you guys stuck by me and you're here at the end, thank you. I love you. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for caring about yourself and wanting to hear this list and hear it all the way through to make sure that you have everything covered, all your bases covered. Okay. I hope you stay well. I hope you have a blessed weekend, a great weekend. We're about to get into it, and I'll see you guys Monday on the next video. Take care. Bye.